The Litter Media Game of the Week has the Huntington Huntsmen hosting the Paint Valley Bearcats as Bearcat Nation rolls into the athletic complex named after its favorite son, Merle Shoemaker. Time to hear from those involved in this week's battle for the Maple Leaf Trophy.
It is the Maple Leaf Trophy game, yeah. Okay. I've never seen the trophy. I don't know if Pete will remember to bring it. I have no idea.
Where's the Maple Leaf Trophy?
Well, I don't know how long we've been playing for the Maple Leaf, but it's kind of like lore around here. We don't get it as often as Paint Valley does, so when we do, it's a big deal.
Have you ever seen the Maple Leaf Trophy?
Yeah, it's sitting in the field house right now.
Okay. My son-in-law graduated from the Green in 05, and he was on the 04 team that beat us, so yeah, he's had some bragging rights with that.
Last time we won it was 2007, so hopefully we'll bring that thing back and put it in our case for a year.
I've told people it's like going in the backyard playing pickup football or basketball with your brother, and it really is. After the game, you're going to see kids hugging, shaking hands, probably getting pictures taken together and laughing. Some of them may go out to dinner afterwards. This is the way that it is.
There is a trophy, they say. Again, I've never seen it, but word on the street is there actually is a trophy.
When I was playing when we won it, then it was too long.
You know, I've got a grandson now, and one of our former teachers here at Paint Valley, who kids went to Huntington, she has a nice little shirt made up for him. It's got a Bearcat helmet and a Huntsman helmet. And so I'm, deep down I'm awful proud of it. And it's just an honor to be in this game. Throw out past records, it means nothing because before the game we're brothers and after the game we're going to be brothers. But in that 48 minutes we all want to beat the heck out of each other.
To Paint Valley Bearcat, it means just going out there, playing hard. It's another game, championship week, and we gotta go try to get the dub. They're a good team, and we're just gonna play hard.
We've got to play well up front, just because of how well they play out on both lines of scrimmage. We have to be able to, not necessarily control and dominate the line of scrimmage, but we've got to be able to handle our own from the line of scrimmage. Obviously Elijah is a huge key for us week in and week out. He's a 4-year starter at quarterback. He's a smart kid. He's a great athlete. He throws the ball as well as any quarterback I've ever had. He sees the field well. He makes smart decisions. And then, all in all, we've got to have our athletes step up and make some plays. We've got to be able to get some big plays, to get some momentum, and not just chip away with a 5-yard or 8-yard gain. We need some of those 20-plus big plays in this type of game to be able to be successful.
Well, obviously, being 4-0, we like where we're at. We've, knock on wood, managed to come out healthy. We're distributing the ball really well, especially both sides of the ball, just not on the offensive side. We got, if people look at our stats, we don't have one kid that would be scary to anybody numbers-wise, but we've got a bunch of those kids, so it really, really makes us difficult to defend. I love that we've got 2 shutouts, and our defense is playing lights out right now. We never use the word young around here because I think it's a disservice to our kids, and I'm certainly not going to get on a call-in show or to the media tell them how young we are because, again, to me, it gives your kids an excuse just to be young. If they're good enough to be on the field, well, the expectations are still the same, especially in a program like this. But we knew that, as a coach, that you can hide a couple young kids, but when you ask yourself to hide 6 and 7 of them like we did 2 years and even last year, you're usually asking for trouble, and we've got 7 wins the last 2 years. So that's it's just part of the game, it's part of the roller coaster of being at a small school.
And get a little bit of momentum and try to get a little bit of run going. Can take care of the football, no stupid turnovers. This is a rivalry game, so any mistake that you make is going to be magnified a little bit. So just try to limit those mistakes and be patient. Don't try to force anything, and just hopefully let the game come to you a little bit. We came in last year, we probably had 25 kids, give or take, 26 maybe. So that was difficult. That was a big adjustment for myself and Ed and the rest of the coaching staff. Got a lot out of the kids, and then this offseason really tried to do a lot of recruiting, a lot of knocking on doors and trying to talk kids into playing and bribing with food, whatever it takes to try to get more kids out. And right now we're 40 to 45 kids that we have out. We actually have a JV team, so we can play a JV schedule. So all in all, I think things are turning around slowly. It's going to be a process. We understood coming into this that we weren't going to turn anything around like this in a year or two, that it was a 3, 4, 5-year job. So we're committed to it, and I think we've taken a big step from last year to this year, and looking forward to taking an even bigger step from this year and moving on. But right now, we've got a really good group of kids. Very pleased with the way they've worked and where we're at right now. So we'll see what happens.
They just feed off him. Their attitude is Scott, and I mean that in the absolute fondest terms. I consider him a friend, and I couldn't be happier for him. And I'm just grateful that their Board of Education and school personnel gave him the opportunity, because he's certainly the right person for the job over there. He's making a difference in kids' lives too. He's got a lot at stake being an alumnus of over there, and being an alumnus of PV myself. I know exactly what it means. You're just not trying to mold players, but you're molding fathers of the future and grandfathers and everything else that goes down that line. So he's doing exactly what he was put there for a reason.
The thing about them, you watch them on tape, and obviously with Bryce back at quarterback, and then you got another McFadden. I don't know if this is the last McFadden or not. It's just like they grow on trees over there. Pete just walks out in the backyard and just clips one off a tree every single year. So you got to worry about that. Their team speed, I think, is impressive for a school that size. They've got a lot of athletes on the field, but the one big difference I see with his team this year compared to last year and probably the previous year before that is what they're able to do up front offensively and defensively. I think the offensive line and defensive line for them has improved significantly over the last few years. And with the athletes that he has, when you put an offensive line and defensive line up there in front of them like that, they're gonna be able to create some problems for you.
Elijah's like the quarterback's got a little bit more experience under his belt, and he's just making more plays out there and making the defense think a little bit more.
What about your team?
For this team, we've just worked harder. We've got bigger, we got faster, we got stronger, and we focus 1 week by 1 week, and we don't just look at the long run. We look at winning every game.
A couple of hillsides separate us. That's it. I mean, it really is, and it's always been, Paint Valley and Huntington against the rest of the conference, and that's just the way that it is. We're the two smallest schools in a conference by far, and I think that we both kind of enjoy that, being a little guy in the block and occasionally jumping up and biting people in the nose, and really enjoying it. It's the same thing when we play basketball, baseball, whether it's boy sport, girl sport. It's just a respect game. It really is. And then if people have never experienced it, actually being from one of the schools, they really don't know. It's not one of those hatred rivalries. It's really not. I mean, it's really not about that. And honestly, I would imagine that some people in the community take it a little more serious than what the players and coaches do. Because for us, when you get down to it, it's just another game, and 1 week out of 10. Obviously, we want to win the game really bad. I think for both of us, it's got playoff ramifications because we've got 4 wins and they've got 3. So yeah, it's got some point value. But for us, it's just the second conference game right now.